Yes, it's me, Mike Stone, and this is the Backseat Driver Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Gas Shocks, home of the 116 Trophy and 120 Coupe Cup. Hoddy Tyres, find the best tyres for your vehicle, supplying all the top brands to keep you covered in every season and every condition. Tarox Brakes, the art of slowing down, precision engineered in Italy for ultimate performance, and Specialised Automotive Services, specialists in high-quality automotive maintenance and classic car restoration. You can find the details of all our proud sponsors for this episode in the show notes. I'd like to introduce the backseat driver, Mike Smith, a man who pops up everywhere, from film launches to car launches to a major consultant on some of the greatest books going, Aston Martin enthusiast, Aston Martin owner, Aston Martin expert, James Bond expert, and senior consultant on Spy Optane, the book by Matthew Field and AJ Chowdhury, who I interviewed a while ago. Also, a major man on the Self-Preservation Society book, because he knows all about the Italian job cars, where they are. He's probably owned one or two of them. I mean, what an introduction. Mike Smith, welcome to the Backseat Driver.
Thanks very much.
Did I get anything wrong there, or did I leave anything out?
Oh, you left plenty out, but that might be a good idea.
I mean, you're also a man who was, besides being a James Bond expert, has, although you weren't really seen, appeared in James Bond films.
Oh, yeah.
Driving the Aston Martins.
Driven the Astons about, different cars I've driven about. But I actually appear with Pierce Brosnan,
Yeah.
where you can see me in a hilarious little extra bit on Die Another Day,
All right.
where he comes down off Westminster Bridge and goes into the little secret door
Yeah.
with the monument with the lion on top.
Yeah.
It was actually a practical joke on the production manager, Terry Bamber, because he got cut from The World Is Not Enough.
Yeah.
He was in the restaurant during the boat chase where the boat goes to the restaurant. And Terry played a French waiter with the moustache and everything. And he just laid all the tables and then Bond wrecks them, but they cut it. So they said to him, right, we'll definitely get you in Die Another Day.
Yeah.
So they put him on Westminster Bridge in this sort of green suit, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
And a briefcase. And said they were filming it, but they weren't. It was another joke. What they were really doing was they were filming me with this girl who was a lap dancer, who they put me with. And as Brosnan walks down the steps, me and the girl walk right behind. And I did say something quite a rude joke about Pierce that I didn't realise the cameras would pick up and all the sound would pick up. And she laughs, and I laugh, and they left that in. They don't leave in what I said, but they leave us in laughing. Anyway, at the premiere, Terry was right behind me with his laugh, and I could see him getting ready. This is my bit. And then as it came, all he was greeted with was me looking towards the camera with a big grin on my face.
It's amazing what only an Aston Martin, or a good few of them, can bring you into it.
Yeah. That was through BMW, all that. Or the Bond stuff.
How did all this come about?
The Bond stuff?
No, you in general, with the cars, the film industry. Well,
Mad on Cars. Just Mad on Cars as a little boy. I liked the Persuaders.
Yeah.
With the DBS.
And as did I, the Dino.
Yeah, and the Dino. But more the DBS. I saw one of Majesty's Secret Service on telly quite young, so that had a DBS. Return of the Saint was a really big one.
With the Jaguar XJS.
With the XJS manual V12 prototype with the sunroof.
Yeah.
And 2 backup cars.
Because that's the other thing, just quickly. Every car that appears in a film, there isn't just one of them, is there? There's a few.
See, it depends. I mean, like, for example, on the Persuaders, it's one Aston Martin DBS. It's one Dino 246 GT, not a Ferrari, even though Tony Curtis says it's a Ferrari.
Yeah, no, they were.
They were almost a Ferrari, the advertising strapline went. And the Dino brand lasted till 1976, and the 308 GT4 got renamed in May 76, I think.
Because, I mean, ultimately,
into a Ferrari.
they were built by Fiats, weren't they? Did he?
It's a bit both, wasn't it? Ferrari and Fiat. Obviously, they had the Fiat Dino as well.
Yeah, there was a Dino, that was an homologation job.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much accepted as a Ferrari now, and I'm certainly not snobby about it, other than the make of car is a Dino, and the model is the 206 or the 246 or whatever.
Yeah.
There's no Ferrari badging on a Dino.
No.
It's only if people put it on after.
Gonna say, any Dino you see with Ferrari on it, somebody stuck it on.
Well, someone stuck it on the wings, or they put the prancing horse on the back, or they put the badge across the back. And I think the Colonel Ronnie Hoare from Maranello was a bit worried about them selling.
Yeah.
So most of the English ones got it.
Yeah.
I'm told the American importers did as well, but I've not really seen evidence for that. But I mean, going on to the Persuaders, I mean, what a great, even if people say it's old fashions now, what a sort of perfect world that was of two guys who were good looking, they like girls, they got loads of money, both got a great car, and they try and do good. And the same, isn't it? He's always trying to do good, and the things that in today's world you just can't do. Because of all the mobile phones, people taking it the wrong way, etc., etc. So it's quite nice going back to those TV shows to try.
I must confess, I'm a great lover of talking pictures TV. Oh yeah, the old black and white films, because all the great classic cars that you see.
Yeah. Well, my friend Caroline Munro is the horror queen. She presents a lot. In fact, quite a few friends.
Well, she'd been in a long film. She was also the Lamb's Navy rum girl.
She was. And she's also in a film with David Hasselhoff where she's the star.
Oh.
And it's called something like Star Rush.
Yeah.
And he wasn't the star. He was like the new up-and-coming man.
Yeah.
And quite often I've taken these stars to these autograph shows. And they're sort of two...
She'd never invited me.
What? To sign up, come and buy the autograph, mate. So Caroline's quite a good signer. She's really good with fans, and it'd sort of be split between Roger Moore, who was a pal, through his PA, Gareth. He'd have a gang of people. And then Caroline's manager, Jane, she'd have a gang of people. And I'd sort of be the one that knew everyone on both sides, so it'd sort of go across. So the talking pictures thing has continued that. So Sarah Cronin and her dad run talking pictures. And they've got people like Maddie Smith, who I know, Caroline.
Another Bond girl.
Yeah, another Bond girl from Live and Let Die. And also what's quite funny is, there's a guy called Henry Holland, right?
Yeah.
Who's now a retired tube driver. Yeah. But I've known him like 30 years. And when it's Henry's birthday, they often go to this pub in London.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious because there's Henry and like 14 Bond girls. And I've taken a couple of people along, not saying anything. People who are well known, like Russ Kane, who used to be the eye in the sky in London, and he's got his own radio show and everything now. First time I took Russ, he was just sitting there speechless, and Russ knows everyone, right? And he's like, "Is that Madeline Smith and Caroline?" I was like, yeah. And he was like, absolutely. Can't believe it. It's besotted anyway. I took him, introduced him. And when they say, we used to listen to you on the radio. Maddie says, I used to listen to you in my dressing gown. And he went, that's like a fantasy, But all those like cars, I mean, Caroline loves cars.
Yeah.
She absolutely loves the fast cars and anything we can get her to where she gets to go in the car.
Yeah.
She loves it. And she loves helicopters. She
flew the helicopter.
Yeah, so her part is flying the helicopter, but she goes to the helicopter museum in Weston-super-Mare.
Yeah.
And it's a prize for people on the day.
Yeah.
They get to go in for a helicopter with Caroline. Say that.
So, to what we're talking about, the cars, I mean, the involvement, I mean, besides being keen on these cars, I mean, you now either own them, have owned them, or deal in them. Where do you find them?
It's a good question. The first one I sold, I was 14.
Yeah.
which was one of the two copper bronze Lotus Esprit turbos from For Your Eyes Only.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the famous Bauer Millet in Manchester?
Yes.
So in those days, it was Chris Bauer and Lawrence Millet.
Yeah.
And
I used to go in there and drool. Lasers out.
So when I was 10, I started racing minis.
Yeah.
My mum and dad had no money. So the neighbours did it because they were in banger racing and I used to help them with the spanners and things. They paid for it.
Yeah.
Did that. Then I would see all these sort of typical banger racers who were mechanics and body shop workers and things like that buying these cars for nothing. Like, you know, and I sort of said, why are they so cheap? Because I was only used to seeing Parker's Guide and Manchester Evening News. And we went from Buxton Raceway on this particular day in this Cortina Mark IV.
Yeah.
Right? 1977R. A light blue one, done 100,000 miles. And it had 3 months ticket.
Yeah.
And he'd just given 25 quid for it. And I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Right? So this is like 1983.
Yeah.
So it was only 6 years old.
You're busy driving a 25 quid Cortina. Or you're in a 20.
Well, I'm in the 25 quid Cortina and I couldn't believe it. And I said, could I buy some cars like this?
Yeah.
And he says, oh, well, you'll have to give me a tenner profit. So I'm like, 35 quid, are you serious?
Yeah.
And I think probably the cheapest I'd seen of stuff like that was about 400.
Yeah.
25 quid.
What was the average going price or something?
Well, do you remember? I was literally going off Parker's Guide. So there was poor, fair and nice, wasn't there? Whatever it was. And I think that car was in as 400 and something.
Yeah.
And 700 and something. And then like £1,000, you know. So he said, you'll have to give us a tenner profit. So I said, yeah. Miraculously, it appeared at our house. With assistance of other people, obviously. And what I did, I was good at washing my dad's car. My dad's car was a 1978 beige Cavalier 1.6L. I like the shape of the Cavalier, but this car, the colour. Oh my God.
Really need beige.
It was like, it was.
We used to use it as well, but
it was a bit more orangey than that. I think it was called Sunburst.
Yeah.
I found out many years later. But can you imagine being the car mad kid at quite a posh school where my dad was sort of headmaster?
Yeah.
And all the other kids like lived in the posh bit of
yeah.
Bowden and Hale and Altrincham.
And Daddy used to shop in Jangs and all sorts.
Oh, I mean, you know, one mate had a Daimler 4.2, a Pagoda SL, brand new Granada Estate, somewhere else, you know. And another one had a Y-Reg Moat 380 SEL.
Yeah.
You know, we were in this flipping Cavalier. But I was getting to do things they weren't through the Aston Martin Young Supporters Club dating back to 1975.
Yeah.
So I was getting to go to the factory as a little boy.
Yeah.
And I was getting all the Aston Martin brochures sent to me for free by this club, which was like...
The glorious days, bushes.
Oh, yeah, but it was glorious days in Newport Pagnell. They'd just got going bust.
Yeah.
I'd sent in my spends, persuaded my dad to let me send this £6 or whatever it was in.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say what that is. That's Mark taking my car keys off me because I'm fiddling with them. Sorry. I've got a face for radio, but not a keen on. So I was doing loads of things, and I used to go in all the local showrooms and go to the motor show. My poor dad would get dragged around with 1,000 carrier bags, but I was pretty good at getting on the stands.
Yeah.
Which started with my owners club, my Young Supporters Club card. And do you remember people used to queue around the outside?
Yeah.
Or just not get let in?
Yeah.
So you go to the commissionaire with my little card.
Yeah.
Straight on.
Yeah.
And then some people were great with me, by the way. Roger Bennington from Stratton Aston Martin in Norfolk. He who looks after the Bond Aston Martins and stores them. Yeah. He was really nice to me when I was like 12, 13, and always sort of believed I'd own my cars. And Victor Gauntlet. Yes. Oh, he was mint. He was just great. He used to sort of get me into the office and say, Matt, he was really posh. Like, now then, young man, tell me how you're going to get the money to get one of these cars. And that's what he'd do. It was great. I mean, some of the highlights of that was I saw the Bulldog being built off-site in an airfield. I had a ride in it with William Towns. That was cool. Went in Lagondas quite a few times. Even before they came out. You know. So all that was like really exciting to me. And then progressed to the Owners Club and everything. But going back to the cars, so I mean, I put that Cortina in at 395 in the Manchester Evening News. And the newsagents, about 8p, and the phone went mad. And people were almost fighting over it. They were saying, would you take a bit more? So I sold it that night for 395 quid. And my dad was that shocked. And mum was a teacher. They thought it was illegal that I'd made this profit out of a car. So he went and asked advice of their solicitors. That's how streetwise my dad was. And Mike said to it was really good. She said, okay, I'll introduce you to our accountants. It'll be in your name, Ron, and all this. So all through school, I was like doing this buying and selling. And the highlight of that was when I was 14, I was able to buy my dad a nice and inverted commas car. And said car was a Granada 2.8 Gear X on a Y. I actually wanted the injection, but they didn't have one. But it came into Bower Millet as a swapper. And I'd been buying swappers out of there cheap. So I think retail on this car was about £6,000. And he said, you can have it for £4,000. All right. He said, but you better really having a warranty and everything on it. So I says, okay. So it was about 4 and a bit. Anyway, so Dad gets this car, and it was like, it was like having a brand new Rolls.
Busy for up to rolls,
and all the electric bits. And do you remember how well equipped they were?
Oh, they were.
Heated seats, electric roof,
They made Jags look sick, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, I love the Jag of the period, but these were better equipped. And it was just an awesome car, even though I was always annoyed it wasn't the injection. But it was great because then he had to give me lifts to BCA. And because I was buying and selling from BCA in Dad's name and using their transporters. So I'd be buying in Scotland and Manchester and and it was great. And then I thought it would be a good idea to get into the main dealer. So I wanted to go to Bower Millet, who were a main dealer for Audi, VW, Lotus and TVR, as well as all the Rolls-Royce, and they were the
usually you could American in, didn't
well, they were the only General Motors dealer for the American stuff that could give a warranty. So that was exciting too. But they wanted me to work in service. And the service offer was like 30 quid a week YTS. So I wrote to everyone out the Yellow Pages, and only 2 replied, Night Faye, Audi VW, and they wanted me for service. And a guy called Lionel Smith, who had Audi VW. And when Bower Millet found out I was going to Lionel's, they weren't happy because they were rival Audi VW. Anyway, Lionel was great because he did racing. So he put us on a contract for racing and a proper wage for selling. So even if I didn't sell anything, I was getting this wage because he wanted to train me in every department. So parts, service, it was mint. And then I went on and sort of sold and, away we went. So it was all brand new company cars on 17th birthday and all that. He got me my test on my birthday. And then he knew I liked classic cars. So he let me deal in only classic cars. And it was a weird time. Do you remember things like NGBs were classic cars even then, even though they were quite young? And they've never sort of had the increase that everyone thought they would. There's certain cars, isn't there, like the Merc SL from the 70s and MGBs. They're not that different in what they were then to now. And Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. So it was great. And then I went to... ended up at Toyota. I was at 19 as sales manager, and I got to launch the Lexus LS 400. And that was fantastic because it was a great car with everything standard, 3-year warranty. But the swappers I was getting in the in the recession was amazing. So I'd always arrange the delivery to be on my way home. So I could leave 2 hours early and then go and pick up the Bentley or the Rolls Royce or the Ferrari or the Jag or the Porsche. And use them, and the garage was scared of them. And I said, well, don't worry, I can get us out of it. You know, like I told it to all my mates. So it's a great time. And then I went to work for a lady called Sue Brownson, MBE, who was mega. She was more like M from Bond and the Queen than the Queen and M from Bond. Very posh lady. Brought me in, quite a sleepy Cheshire BMW dealer, not selling that many, useless at used cars. She wanted me to turn it around, and I as I was getting more and more money, I was desperate to move to London and have the excitement of London. And she said, if you sort all this out, I'll help you move to London. I mean, how many people say that?
Because your other ambition was it to own a Rolls Royce by the time you were...
Oh, yeah, it was.
Which you achieved.
Well, yeah, it was bizarre because I bought a Ferrari when I was 16, at the 1987 Motor Fair. Which was sort of mad because I had about 40k in the pot. And the car was 45. But there was this long waiting list and all the cars were going up in value. So I signed up on the stand. And I think the wait was supposed to be 3 years. But it sort of turned up 2 years later in the summer. And I had enough. I put 5,000 down on it, I remember. And like, no one believed me that I'd bought this car. Even my big sister, who was next to me at the time, she thought that was a wind-up by me. But no, I did buy it. Anyway, it came in summer of 89.
Which model was it?
328 GTS.
Very nice.
Rosso Red, yes. And, it's a later version of the Magnum thing. Anyway, I had this magnificent 3 weeks of going everywhere in it. And, nice weather and all that. I used it for this 3 weeks and then I sort of thought I'd better sell it. So I sold it for 94 grand. Right? The man who I sold it for traded it the next day for 98 grand. The man who he sold it to sold it for 107 grand. And then that one got caught with it. Because everything turned to boo. And the recession hit and it actually wiped out Ron Stratton. They were like doing deals on old Testarossas from the 50s and they had a special book. And it was like buying something for 750 and selling it for $1 million. And they just got caught out. And they ended up having to sell it to Stratstone for £1. And Ron had to agree not to use his name or anything for a little while. So they changed Ron Stratton into Stratstone, which was their London name. And that's how all that happened. But Ron Stratton owed loads of property and everything, so he's okay. It's interesting times. And the Rolls Royce, I decided more than an Aston Martin, and Aston Martin's the favourite. Because a lot of the Aston Martin were doggy old cars. The first DB5 I bought was 8,000 quid, and it was a shell in a bag of boxes. Not bag of boxes, it was boxes. And I bought it for 8k in like 1990 or something. But I really wanted a Rolls Royce. I thought, it's because I'd read a book by a guy called Fred Eyre, who's a millionaire stationery guy who used to play for Man City, but then didn't quite make it. But he got this Rolls Royce and I learned a lot of business lessons off Fred. I know him now. And so I wanted this Silver Shadow too, because that's what he had. Anyway, I managed to buy one for 10 grand 2 weeks before my 21st birthday. Only it needed an exhaust. And I didn't have the spare.
To put one on.
To put the exhaust on. And I think they were about 1,800 quid even then, right? And so I drove it around, but it sounded like a hot rod or a banger or something. I remember taking my mum out in it. My mum's like, what's that? No. And I said, a special experimental one, Mum. Or a more powerful engine. And it was this yellow Rolls. I think you've seen the picture. So the yellow Rolls Royce. And the company car then was a Celica GT4 Turbo 4-wheel drive, which was a mega car. I really liked them. I really liked Toyota and Lexus. They were great. But then I went to work for Mrs. B at BMW, and then that's where I got access to F1 stuff. BMW amazingly got signed up to do Bond with the Z3. And everyone thought it was going to be a DB7. The watch became an Omega. All these brands had to participate, otherwise they wouldn't have had the money to do it. And they were really nervous about it. And they were saying, like, in the press, he's Bond out of date. because it had been delayed because of the argument between MGM and Sony over who owned what.
Yeah.
So there was a real feeling on GoldenEye of trying to make it happen. So I was lucky enough to get invited to watch some of the filming and everything.
Yeah.
And I thought it was great. And then it sort of went from there, you know, and ended up doing various things. I supplied cars and got to meet loads of people. And I managed to meet every Bond.
Yeah.
Apart, including Bob Holness, who did it on the radio. I only met him at Water Rats dinner when he was quite ill.
Yeah.
But I met him. And the one not proper Bond that I didn't meet was David Niven.
Oh, yeah.
But Connery, met him in the Bahamas, actually, in Greycliff restaurant. As a coincidence, not on his things, and that was good. George I know really well.
Let's be.
Yeah, pals with him. Roger, of course. I mean, like, he was my mum's favourite.
Yeah.
And I loved him, you know. I mean, my favourite role of his is The Persuaders.
Yeah.
But I like watching.
I think the thing about Roger Moore was he was smooth, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Where Connery was rugged.
Yeah. But, you know, in a real life fight, Roger would kill you.
Oh, right.
He always played it down.
Yeah.
You know, Lee Marvin was drunk once in Shout at the Devil.
Yeah.
And started taking the mick out of him, and they had to do a scene.
Yeah.
And Lee Marvin properly started hitting Roger.
Yeah.
So Roger battered him for an egg trip. You know, and when people asked Roger about that, he'd always say, "Oh, are you kidding? Lee Marvin would kill me."
Yeah.
But I know all the crew and that who were on it and saw it happen. So he is hard. And then it was Tim Dalton. A couple of times I did some stuff on Hot Fuzz. He's a City fan.
Yeah.
And then obviously Pierce, numerous things. And then Daniel, obviously, just from, you know, sort of being in the different places.
So how did you start? I mean, it's like I said earlier on, you were consultant on the new books by Optane, which is the book that, because there's going to be a volume 2 and potentially a volume 3, volume 1 is what you'll call the classic Bond cars, because it covers all the cars in the films, not just the cars that Bond drove.
Well, it's the vehicles.
It's the vehicles.
It's both, just the planes, it's everything. So that book, the basis of that book, you have to say, goes back to the late 80s.
Yeah.
When Dave Worrell, by himself, couldn't get a publisher.
Yeah.
And for 6 years, I mean, imagine that by yourself. He's working in sales, I think. I think he worked for advertising and marketing or something, or typesetting. And he had a bit of a Bond background because his uncle sold Gillette razors and took him on the set of You Only Live Twice. So he saw that big volcano set.
Yeah.
And he started, for some reason, asking about the DB5. Starts investigating it. Finds out there was 2 in Goldfinger and Thunderball, and 2 that were built after filming. And it was like quite a story. So he goes, publishes it himself. That's why it's called solo publishing.
Yeah.
But he made contacts at Aston Martin and with these owners that really, if he hadn't have done that, that story would not be told.
Yeah.
And he brought out his book, The Most Famous Car in the World.
Because I think a lot of the until things like that, I mean, there's a story that the Aston Martin, the original one with all the gadgets on, that really made it incredibly popular. After it had done what it was doing in the film, had everything taken back off it.
It did. It did, but there were 2 cars.
Yeah. But these cars would have gone into obscurity without people writing about them, places to find them.
Well, certainly in America they wouldn't have gone into obscurity because that's where they all ended up for quite a long time. But Dave followed this story. He brought out this book, which was epic. Looking back on it now, there's a lot he couldn't find out.
Yeah.
And there's some stuff where he sort of guessed it from his perspective.
Yeah.
But Dave's book is at the heart of Spy Octane.
Right.
And if you look at the back of the book, the one above me, I'm the motoring consultant, it's dedicated to Dave.
Right.
And he gave a lot of time. He gave all his time for free and everything. Like designing it, and like someone else designed, but he helped scan all the stuff and made all the intros. So if you take from the late 80s, right, and Matthew Field was a young kid, very young kid, who lived round the corner from Dave.
Yeah.
All right. And I've known Matt since he was a kid.
Yeah.
Right. And So if you take that as a basis
Yeah.
of the book and then expand it, this really has been going on, the creation of that book, for 40 odd, 50 years, because Dave was going to write a book on the cars of Bond. And
How did you become involved in all this? I mean, besides the DB7 that I have parked outside at the moment, I mean, you've got a lot of cars. We know you've got a lot of cars.
Yeah.
Probably too many of them. But you've a few Aston Martins.
Yeah.
And everything. I mean, you are, I would say you're probably regarded as the Aston Martin man, aren't you?
Well, I think a lot of people do call me Mike Aston Martin. There's a club in London.
They call me various things, but Aston Martin doesn't figure in it.
There's one where they call me Mike Ferrari. That's a whole story. Yeah, I think the title of Mr. Aston Martin, you got to be careful of, because there's a lot of good historians.
Yeah.
Like Steve Wadders, my best mate.
Who was a guest on the then radio show.
Yeah, so he's now Aston Martin's historian, and so he should be. You could call him Mr. Aston Martin.
Yeah.
I know Dr. Bez, who was the CEO, once wanted to call his book Mr. Aston Martin, but people didn't like it because there's a lot of other people involved. So I wouldn't call myself Mr. Aston Martin, but I would call myself a member of a pretty elite, knowledgeable team.
Yeah.
And you're always learning. So the key to learning is surround yourself with people who know more than you on a given subject.
Yeah.
And that's sort of for business as well. So me and Steve Roddingham would be talking a lot. Me and Tim Cottingham, the registrar, would be talking a lot. Chris Bolton, who also works on the registrar. In fact, yesterday, something came up to do with a Virage Volante that a guy's selling. Straight away, I recognised it. I'd bought it. I'd bought it off another Aston guy. Before that, I know another Aston guy had sold it to him. I recognised the car. I knew exactly what had happened to it. I said to him, don't put the mileage on that car as being definite, because I know what happened. It wasn't anyone clocking it, but the digital readout kept breaking.
Yeah.
And they kept having to try and fix it or replace. Yeah, so that sort of thing.
Yeah. And
within about 3 hours, the team had identified its chassis number, its build, what happened there, and it's quite good like that. Yeah. And I noticed you got Ben's book, Ben Stig's book, that he wrote on Aston Martin. Well, he did that with the permission of Aston Martin. Well, unofficial cooperation.
Yeah.
Because that's what they sort of like to do, to sort of see if they can help. And then there's places where I have contacts where they don't. It would be true to say I knew the location of the cars better than them, but obviously they know where certain ones are. Eon, which is now Amazon in charge, know where those ones are, and that's what we do in Spy Octane.
Yeah,
we literally go through the history of these cars, and Matt is a consummate researcher.
Yeah,
so he goes and finds the info. He sort of, well, I mean, in the interview you did.
Yeah,
AJ Chowdhury sort of admitted he didn't really know. He hung on to Matt's coattails. So Matt White uses him a bit as, he'll say, go and look up the filming dates for so-and-so.
Yeah.
And then he goes and does it, And Matt calls him Tibbet because of A View to a Kill, where Roger and Patrick McNear in it. And he like treats him like a chauffeur. So Matt says, go and find.
Yeah.
My role in it is I'll have Matthew asking me 500,000 questions.
Yeah.
Often these conversations are 12 o'clock at night to 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt's got a job. He produces advertising films and extras for DVDs. So he is half dead writing these books, as I can sort of do what I want. I mean, the amount of work that kid puts in is beyond belief.
Yeah.
And also I can, when he gets stressed, I can make him laugh and change the subject. But he does this incredible research, and the highlight of the research is the 2 Japanese Toyota 2000 GTs. What a story that is. And he was doing all these interviews with a Japanese interpreter and not giving up until he got to them. Oh, and the other one. Did he tell you about, I think he did mention about like the mafia, didn't he?
Yeah.
I thought that was Goldfinger and the man when the car got nicked.
Yeah.
they got warned off.
Yeah.
Matt got warned off by the mafia. Through Doug from the Ian Fleming Foundation in Chicago. They contacted him and said, tell this Matthew Field, stop contacting your bloke. And Anthony Puglisi. And we didn't give up. And Matt managed to get across. Look, we're on the side of Mr. Puglisi.
Yeah.
He's never had an opportunity. He's in his 80s. He's never had an opportunity to say, look, I didn't have it nicked.
Yeah.
This is what happened. So when you see it in the book, it's a massive section in the book.
Yeah.
All about the theft, all about what actually happened, all about his perspective.
Yeah.
His brother-in-law, who he'd helped out a lot financially, was the one looking after the car. So when the car got nicked, he wanted a load of money out of the sale. Matt managed to talk to all the solicitors and lawyers, both sides, and how it all came out. And it's an amazing story, all that. And that's the quality in this book. We go to the most inane levels. And then my biggest skill in the book is giving it some nuance and reality.
Yeah.
And explaining. So I'll give you an example of what I mean. If you got AJ, who's never been in the car job, he has a 17-year-old Nissan Micra but never drives. You got Matt, who does quite like cars, but he had I got him a Mini because obviously he likes Minis because of the Italian job that they've still got, and he's got an old 3 Series diesel off his brother. Yeah, two all right cars, and he's now restoring a black RSP.
Oh yeah,
classic Mini. That Matt wears it up to because you never chase it up. But they haven't been and bought a brand new Aston Martin.
Yeah.
They haven't been and bought a 400 grand Aston Martin. They haven't driven them. You can't give a verdict on those cars or an opinion on those cars unless you've done that. It's like you.
Yeah.
I know I can talk to you properly about driving fast on circuits because we've both driven most of the circuits in the world. I can talk to you about the purchase process of a nice 50 grand car or 100 grand car because you've done it. They haven't. So that's not being snobby or horrible.
No.
It's just that I need to explain certain things. So I'll give you a classic example. 2 things. 1, I banned the word probably.
Yeah.
And Matt then used that as the mantra for the book.
Yeah.
It's not probably. It either we know 100%
or we
don't. Right? There's no, maybe this happened. I hate it. I hate it on social media when these noobs flipping post about a car.
Yeah.
And they give some opinion. Oh, I expect this happened.
Yeah.
Or they introduce a new bit of the story that never happened. They just literally made it up.
Yeah.
I don't get that. So Matt's really good at trying to keep to it. And then the second thing is with trying to get it absolutely level is that we won't be swayed.
Yeah.
So sometimes telling people when you've done the research something about their car or what they thought their car was and it's not is quite awkward.
Yes.
So
because the other thing is, more than anything else, it's probably just knocked about 100 grand off its value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it turns out their car isn't the car and it's in a museum and it's advertised.
Yeah.
That's really bad. And sometimes it's embarrassing as well. But we've had cars that have been repainted the same colour.
Yeah.
The wrong colour. That was an awkward one. Just after it had an 80 grand paint job.
Yeah.
A car that someone thinks stars in a film abroad. And it didn't even go abroad.
Yeah.
You know, there were 2 of them.
Yeah. And yours didn't. The other one did.
Yeah. So we had quite a bit of that. And also, you also have people who don't want the other cars, when there's more than one, to get any credibility.
Yeah.
So the Cougars, and the Mustangs. There's one guy on the Mustang who, he was really claimed this was the car, and we proved it wasn't.
Yeah.
And we actually put it in the book.
Yeah.
We actually say it's not
the car.
Yeah, even though it went around the world. The Esprit from Spy Who Loved Me.
Yeah.
You know, the car that's advertised as the road car in a certain museum up north, it's not the car. It's the car that did the photographs on the lawn with Barbara and things. So it's still important, but it's not the car from the film, you know? And then it's just a very tricky world because it involves so much money.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my sort of main role, really.
Because the other thing is, you mentioned it earlier on, one of the other books you were heavily involved with is the book on the Italian job, the Self-Preservation Society.
Yeah.
And numerous cars that claim to be that aren't. I mean, that would have been another minefield. I think the other problem was with that is the Aston Martin, or one of the Aston Martins, was destroyed.
Yeah.
The two E-types, of which there were more than one of each,
two of each,
were destroyed. And then the minis, because apparently these minis have popped up here, there, and everywhere.
Wow.
Besides having rolled down a mountainside.
Do you want to tell you?
And then there's the coach, then there's the minibus, then there's the Land Rover, then there's all the Alfa Romeos, and there's the Daimler.
And the Dino Coupes.
And the Dino Coupes.
The Daimler.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all in the book, but I mean, a quick version of that is the minis that you see now have absolutely zero to do with the film.
Yeah.
They are replicas.
I mean, the only thing you can say about them is they go promo for it.
Yeah. There's about 4 sets out.
Yeah.
But what happened is the film was made, as you know, in 1969.
Yeah.
All right. They used 1968 Mark 1s for S's. They had 6 hero cars.
Yeah.
For the first time ever, we reveal in that book the reg numbers of those 6 cars.
Yeah.
And they weren't all blue, red, and white.
Yeah.
There was a grey one, and and they all had to be painted a certain way.
Yeah.
And we got all the paperwork out of a big box belonging to David Salamone.
All right.
So David and his dad had Blenheim Motors.
Yeah.
They were taken on board to supply all the cars.
Yeah.
Right? They were also going to do quite a bit of the stunt driving because they were like racing drivers. And what happened was
because the one with very posh accent was actually a proper racing driver, wasn't he?
All 3 were.
Yeah.
Oh, all 3 were, and then they were voiced over.
Right.
So what happened was when Italy and all that got involved, they were recommended to use Remy Julien.
Yeah.
So because Remy Julien got involved, that meant that David and Barry and I can't remember the name of the guy. Didn't get to do things like jumping over the bridge.
Theoretically, from like Lingotto to another building. Yeah. Now, having been to Lingotto,
it's geographically possible.
The building that they jump onto, is the same for want of better.
So it's a combination of the lads driving, the English lads, and the English lads had to do loads at Twickenham Studios, Michael Caine and everything, and Remy Julien's team.
Yeah.
And the car supply was sorted out by the Italians over there. You know the story that Michael Dealey, the producer, and Michael Caine, the actor, say, oh, Fiat gave us everything for free and England gave us nothing.
Yeah.
It's not true. Well, Fiat billed them for everything. We've got the invoices. But they did get the permissions, but they had to pay for everything.
Right.
Right? BMC gave them 6 free cars and a load of stuff.
Right.
All right? Because we've got all the job sheets, all the invoices, and then they had to return those 6 cars.
Yeah.
And BMC scrapped them because they were knackered and the roofs were bent and everything. So one of the cars, one of the white ones, does appear in a promo film for Dunlop. And it's David driving it. And it's in Trafalgar Square.
Yeah.
So there were lots of lower minis, at 850s and things that were dressed up as well.
Yeah.
Pushed off the cliff. But so much poo around that, And when we did the book, I said to Matt, we have to take out the chassis number and the engine numbers and the key numbers, because I'm telling you now, it's already happened. People are going to clone them.
Yeah.
So we kept that out. But what complicated it for a lot of people was the reg numbers were never issued. They were made up G regs. All the cars are F regs.
Yeah.
Right. And then DVLA, as DVLA do, they'll often issue a number much later.
Yeah.
So Cheffins did an auction a DVLA auction.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was 96 or whatever, but they put those 3 number plates up for auction.
Yeah.
The rights to those number plates.
Yeah.
The guy that bought them is the one that created the cars.
Yeah.
He says they were created from a box of bits after filming. Well, they weren't. You know, and I've had it out with him.
Yeah.
You know, but you do get people like the Daily Mail reporting it incorrectly.
Yeah.
What's that singer from AC/DC called? Brian Thingy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
He did a show where he says these are the actual cars. Well, they're not. The Aston Martin.
Yeah.
They made 70 DB4 convertibles, and they were split into Series 4 DB4 and Series 5. They had 2.
Yeah.
They had a Series 5 that was a development car for David, registered to David Brown's.
Yeah.
Because he had the tractor place in Huddersfield, but it's a development car. That was a right dog.
Yeah.
It's totally different when you look at the 2 cars together.
Yeah.
The aerial's in a different place. The indicators are different. The bumpers haven't got over it. There's loads of differences, and we list them all in the book. And that was intended to be wrecked.
Yeah.
Okay. Then they bought 2 of each E-type.
Yeah.
So nicer ones and 2 horrible ones.
Yeah.
I mean, they're only 500 quid's worth.
Yeah.
You know? You do the scenes in England. Then the others go out to Italy and get trashed.
Yeah.
The 2 E-types trash scrapped. The Aston Martin had explosives in it.
Yeah.
They lift it up with the digger. The digger driver was the coach driver, by the way.
Yeah. All right.
You know, like,
Yeah.
he was called Mick Toms.
Yeah.
And when he goes to lift it up, it's actually exploded.
Yeah.
Nearly killed him and nearly killed the Italian actor Raffoni, whatever
Yeah.
he's called. If you watch the film where the car lifts the digger onto the wall, it cuts. And you can see on the floor all the burn marks on the floor and on the wall. Then David Salomone had to go out in a Fiat 500 to find another old Aston Martin, and he didn't have a chance. But he did find a Lancia Flaminia 3C convertible. That's what comes back.
Yeah.
And pretty much at the side of the road, at base camp, David, using Frablon, turned it into an Aston Martin. And what a great job he did. I mean, if you think 50, 60 years later, we're having to freeze frame on the car to see the differences, like the left-hand drive, the way the bonnet opens, the cardboard number plate.
Yeah.
But that's what goes over. So it's 2 cars that are wrecked and not one. And it would have been the Aston if the explosives hadn't gone. But amazingly, 68 of those 70 DB4s survive. And that's how we were able to identify the other car.
Yeah.
Then the one that survives, our pal Brian owns it, that had a fantastic restoration, late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Because even that was a bit, you know, a bit of an old dog.
Yeah.
During filming, it was all right. It drove. And that was this is a big nuance between me and Matthew of that car. Matthew, when writing the book, viewed the DB4 convertible as a fantastic car in relationship to Bond driving the DB5.
Yeah.
What I was trying to explain to Matt is Bond's there in the latest brand new Aston Martin with all these gadgets. Charlie Croker isn't. He's in a 7-year-old Aston Martin that in those days cars became rough pretty quick. 6, 7 years. I said, and he's like a cheap criminal who's trying to aspire to be rich. And there's a part in the film that's cut, and we describe it in the book, where it illustrates that even more.
Yeah.
You know, Anushka Hempel, the model model?
Yeah.
And now she has all the hotels and that. She's in a scene that got cut.
Yeah.
She's in a brand new DB6 Volante, and they pull up at the lights, and he sees her car, and he's coveting her car, and he's like saying nice things about it, but she thinks she's talking about her.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's talking about the car. Yeah. And there was a line, I was sort of explaining to Matt, you know, this is a guy who wants to be big. I suppose it's like someone who turns up in a DB7 Vantage Volante.
Yeah, won't be hard.
Who wouldn't spend 450 grand on a new Vanquish because I'm not wealthy enough to take the depreciation. I can only buy one for $450 if it doesn't lose money. So that was a good nuance. You know, Matt was like, oh, that's fantastic to know, you know. So that's where we work good as a team. And also, there was a great reference in it where he says to Anushka Hempel, you might consider a Burns conversion.
Yeah.
Matt had no clue, and I bet you know what that is. What car had a Burns conversion?
No, go on.
Alvis.
Yes.
Remember that bloke had and he was up for sale in Yorkshire, wasn't it, for a while. So he had that V8 put into the TD or TE21.
Yeah.
No, is it a TF21? Well, I think it's about C-Reg.
Yeah.
And he's got double headlights on the front. Well, that's what he was referring to. That's what the writer was referring to. You know, because the Aston had a 6-cylinder engine and the V8. So, yeah. What other cars do you particularly like? TV shows?
It's hard to say, really. I mean, at times, could have one. If I could have one car, what would I have? I'm just trying to think. The one that I own,
More TV.
I would say TV, and it would probably be the Jensen CV8 out of
the
Baron.
That still exists, that.
Does it?
Yeah, it got painted red.
Yeah. Mainly because as a little boy, I thought Sue Lloyd looked sensational.
Yeah. And you, Sue? That car went quite rough.
Yeah.
Then it got painted red, and then it's sort of, in inverted commas, been being restored for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the cars. So.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of that with the same XJS. Because it was so good to drive, even though the body was a bit rubbish.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the luxury of being able to hammer it
and
park it anywhere and everything. And then my pal, we'll call him Mr. PS, persuaded me that it should have a lot of money invested in it. Yeah, and he's kindly spending the money on it. So it's having a 220 grand restoration.
Yeah.
I'm almost embarrassed to say, because I thought it'd be about 70.
Yeah.
And when you say 70 to someone on a pre-HE XJS, they all think you're mad, don't they? But this restoration is magnificent.
Yeah.
You've seen the pictures, haven't you? It's taken down to nothing.
Yeah.
And it's been hand rubbed down and every single little bit done. So, as he says, if we had this sort of thing done on a DB5 or a DB4 or a DBS or a Lagonda or a V8 at Aston Martin, it'd be, 450 grand?
Yeah.
So 220 in that world.
Something of a bargain.
Yeah, and it's insured for 4 times that. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter. And it's the only one, isn't it? It's the only surviving one. So I like that car very much. Obviously, the Persuader's DBS, which is now in the same stable. That nearly went abroad, that. Right. We had to stop that from going abroad. I quite like the Professionals cars.
Yeah.
As you know, I've supplied some of them and helped get them into different collections. So it's amazing how many have survived. Like, as well, 6 or 7 Capris have survived. The Escort survived. The only thing with them is, where they're different, I think, to the Jag, is that the Jag, we've kept so many original bits.
Yeah.
And obviously you've had to put new bits on as well. But the originality thing wasn't too much of a problem.
Yeah.
With the Fords, and talking to Bob Rocker, my pal, who discovered a lot of these cars back in the early 90s when they weren't worth anything, they were so rusty as Fords.
Yeah.
You couldn't do anything but replace the panels.
Yeah.
So people sort of accuse some of them of being Trigger's broom.
Yeah.
But I think that's a bit unfair. I think, it's a car. It needs, you could get a brand new car, couldn't you?
Yeah.
And say after its oil service, it's not original.
Yeah.
Because it's got new oil in it and an oil filter. So I think 50, 60 years on, you've got to give a bit of sympathy.
Yeah.
To the fact that...
Right there, they didn't build cars to last.
No, and in America, it was even more so, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They were only they had a business model of people swapping once a year, didn't they? And bits literally used to fall off them.
Yeah.
So that some of the interesting things in Spy Octane with the American cars is how quickly they weren't worth a lot.
Yeah.
And also what we investigated is how these cars were supplied. So for Goldfinger and Thunderball, you've got the old prototype DB5, so it's a DB4 Series 5 Vantage on the production line, gets grabbed by development, turned into a DB5. And it was red with black leather, right? So it appears in the road test when it's the bonnet red with black leather. Then it appears in the Saint as Sir Anthony Quayle's character's car. Then and then it goes to Eon.
Yeah.
So Eon put all the bits on it whilst it's a bit scruffy.
Yeah.
And the bonnet in the bonnet red. And they had correspondence between Aston Martin and them about what colour should we have for the film.
Yeah.
And I think they recommended satin bronze, I think it was, to reflect off the camera. But when it went back from Eon at Pinewood to Aston Martin to get painted, their new DB5 demo is silver birch with grey leather, not black leather, with grey leather.
Yeah.
So they painted the car to match that.
Right.
That's why it's silver birch. It's not snow shadow grey, as other people have trying to change the story to. Snow shadow grey is the colour of the Italian job car. And then boat cars went out for filming. But one big thing is the gadgets were only on the prototype during Goldfinger. Then you know at the beginning of Thunderball where you see them with the water coming out?
Yeah.
Both cars are there for that effect.
Right.
Because they put the jetpack into the boot. One car had a boot full of gadgets.
Yeah.
The other one didn't.
Right.
And then the fire engine does the water thing. However, the DB5 appears again, doesn't it, at Silverstone?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when it's at Silverstone, it gets chased, doesn't it? By then, it's been back to the factory, and the factory put the gadgets on, not Eon. So it does have them.
Yeah.
And then when you see that film where it's getting chased, you know the little console.
Yeah.
When that opens, it's just a comedy console that they've propped up.
Yeah.
It's rubbish. You know, it's like it's just, you just see it for like a second. So there's loads and loads of bits where you don't know which car you're seeing unless you do what we did.
Yeah.
Which is freeze framing it for hours and hours and hours and hours, double checking, triple checking. And because the cuts in the film come so fast, it's like, you know where you see he's following Goldfinger?
Yeah.
The girl's gone past in the Mustang.
Yeah.
And Goldfinger's down below, isn't he? Right? So you hear the Aston Martin pull up and go, run.
Yeah.
But you don't see it pull up.
No.
That's because they've just pushed it into place.
Right.
It's the demo, and the clutch and gearbox have a problem.
Right.
It's not Connery. It's Bill Baskerville.
Yeah.
The stuntman. Right? Immediately, the next shot is looking up at Connery.
Yeah.
And it's the gadget car.
Right.
So you're literally going from 1 second to that.
Yeah.
You know where he pulls up at the petrol station
to
let Tilly out? That was a VW dealer back then.
All right.
The DB5 Vantage demo is in the VW garage having the clutch and gearbox sorted. And Matt managed to find the son of the owner of the garage and interviewed him. That's what the whole thing's like, all these ridiculous... How, you know the Sunbeam Alpine?
Yeah.
I mean, he found the son of the
woman who owned it.
The woman who owned it, yeah. I mean, how do you find stuff like that? You know the hearse?
Yeah.
Which is 2 hearses. Yeah. A Humber goes over the edge. And the other one's called a De La Salle.
Yeah.
He found out the full history of that. And do you know what happened to that? It broke down.
Yeah.
Right? It was already quite old. It broke down and got left outside.
Yeah.
Some baddies come and stripped it.
Mike Smith, it's been an absolute pleasure. I am jealous because you know all the Bond girls as well, which I find really irritating.
Not all of them. To find one for you.
But Mike Smith, it's been a pleasure chatting. Thank you very much indeed.
Very enjoyable.
Backseat Driver.